everybody? Welcome back to the Movie Pod. My name's Isaac, and we are joined by our co-host here on the Movie Pod, Joseph. How are you doing, Joseph? It's Friday afternoon.
It's Friday. Yes, it's a good day. I haven't done much, but Friday's a good night. Footy's on. We get to
Yes.
talk about a movie. We won't give away our thoughts on it quite yet, but
Yeah.
any day on the podcast is a good day.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It was my last day of school today, so that was dope. Got 3 weeks off. Going up north next week, but we will record a few. We will pre-record a few podcast episodes for you guys,
Yes.
so we can put them out while I am away, so it's not blank. No, not dead. Anyway, this is a very exciting episode for me, especially.
For you,
I was really excited going to The Flash. You guys know from when we reacted to the first trailer. You guys knew I was excited, right? You knew I was excited going to The Flash. Joseph really wasn't. And so I had high expectations, right? And I am proud to say my expectations were exceeded. Exceeded. I didn't think it was gonna be that damn good. I got a lot to get into. But Joseph, did you like it?
I liked it. It definitely wasn't perfect, and it's far from the best comic book movie. I felt the CGI still wasn't as good as what it should have been, but I did enjoy it. I thought it had its moments. It was for a Flash movie. I think that we're waiting 9 years for it.
It was the movie was in development for a decade,
9 years.
which is
And I feel like it didn't live up to the 9-year hype. But
yeah,
and all these celebrities are calling it, like Tom Cruise, I think Henry Cavill, they're
Even
claiming
Neymar, bro.
that it's the best comic book movie. I don't agree.
I don't agree. It's the best comic book movie. However, it's the best DCEU film for me.
Yes,
Yes.
I agree there. DCEU, so that includes
Like Man of Steel,
Men of
Justice
Steel,
League,
2,
Suicide Squad,
yeah.
Aquaman, yeah,
Batman v Superman.
Batman v Superman, which I have not
Okay,
seen.
yeah, no, I can back that it's the best DCEU movie.
People will get triggered over that, especially against me because I haven't seen every DCU movie.
I think I have,
Right.
except for Wonder Woman 2, but no one's going to claim that Wonder Woman 2 is the best one, so
Yeah.
I think I'm safe there.
Going into I was hyped. Okay, I went there after school yesterday. It's posting on my Twitter, on our Instagram story, expressing my hype, and I go into it and begging. I did not want it to end. But we're gonna get into it all. We'll do a quick recap of the film. It was 2.5 hours. It did not feel like 2.5 hours.
No, it didn't, and
No.
I did like that.
Yeah,
A
it
good
did
movie
not.
is a movie that is long, that doesn't feel long,
Yes.
because you're hooked on it the entire time.
Yeah. I freaking loved it. So many cameos. It's obviously the No Way Home of the DCEU.
Actually, can I touch on that quickly? So, I think once the movie finished, we had one of the cleaners, one of the guys from work come in, and he and I were talking about it, and the movie was shown, like all the trailers and everything was showing it as it's going to be a Batman and Supergirl movie. Like everyone was like, we're gonna get multiple Batmans, we're gonna get like all these cameos, and I was happy that it wasn't. It was shown in the trailers, and it was portrayed as if it was going to be just a multi-fest, a cameo fest, and it wasn't. Like, obviously we had the obvious ones being I'm Batman, Michael Keaton, great, fantastic, we love that. But everyone thought it was going to be like, we're going to get like 4 different Batmans, we're going to get Christian Bale, we're going to get whatever, and it wasn't, and I was really happy about it because I did not want it to be a fan service marathon.
Okay.
And I was really happy about that.
As you said, they, in the trailers and in the promotion leading up to this film's release, they were promoting the Batman being the main center character of this movie, even though it's called The Flash. Now, the obvious reason for that, I believe, is because to show Michael Keaton in promotional TV spots and
Is
trailers is a
big.
lot better marketing than showing one of the most controversial celebrities at the moment, Ezra Miller, as the face of this movie. And I see a lot of people reviewing this movie based on their thoughts of Ezra Miller. I don't think that's how they should rate it. People on Rotten Tomatoes, so like the critic Rotten Tomato score is 67%. The audience is 95%. So that says something there. That's a big margin. 97% critic, 95% audience. The 96% critic, you read some of their reviews, they're talking about Ezra Miller. They're not talking about the movie.
Yeah, I will point out that audience will drop.
It will. It will drop. It will drop.
I kind of sit with the critics, not just specifically on Ezra Miller. Like, I'm not just hating on Ezra Miller, although I thought his performance wasn't. It was a little bit on the nose some of the time.
I think his
He had his moments.
Obviously, he was portraying two Barrys. I think so. The DCEU Barry, that one, and then the other Barry, whose mum is still alive. I think he portrayed that one a lot better. If that makes sense.
As like the 18-year-old.
The younger Barry.
Yeah. I kind of agree. But no, just sometimes Ezra did feel a little on the nose. Maybe it was just because it wasn't like a large cast. We got a lot of Ezra and a lot of Ezra, I suppose.
Yeah.
And then like the second most seen person would have been Michael Keaton. So it's kind of hard to compare the two most minutes as Michael Keaton and controversial Ezra Miller. So I think
Yeah.
that was a bold choice from DCEU to have two of the same actor, and that actor being who he is. That's bold move.
It definitely is.
Ballsy.
Definitely. And whether or not Ezra Miller is going to continue to play the Flash in the DCU in James Gunn's reboot we don't know. We don't know. He very well could. I don't think it would be very smart just because of the controversial behind Ezra Miller himself.
I think we need to see what happens after the movie.
I think, so for the movie to get a sequel, because obviously we're kind of left on a cliffhanger at the end of the movie. Which we will get into when we go through all the cameos. I think Ezra Miller plays the Flash great. You know, despite Ezra Miller being who he is as a person in real life and what he's done. And obviously, people just don't want to see his face because of shit he's done, which is fair. But he plays a good Flash. I will say he plays a good Flash. I'm not going to deny that. I give credit where credit's due. That's my opinion.
Yeah. I think he's a bit... I feel like he's a bit too nerdy, a bit too, like, closed in. To me, you can disagree here. It kind of felt like he was playing... like, when he's not in the suit, he kind of felt like he was trying to be a Peter Parker.
Okay, I can definitely see that.
Obviously the different jobs.
Parker, I definitely can see that.
Yeah, like a nerdy, like a
I can
quiet.
Homecoming Peter Parker.
Yeah, very nerdy, very left alone. Can't speak to women. Has never been on a date. They joke about him not having sex, and he's like, like that's how I kind of felt they were portraying him. Which is fine. Yeah, we'll do a recap before we do anything else. Do you want to kick us off?
Yes. Recap. So obviously it was a lengthy movie, but it didn't feel lengthy. 2.5 hour movie, you're right. So clocking in, you know, average movie time nowadays, but really an average movie is 2 hours, 2.5 hours. And we start off with obviously Barry getting his breakfast, right? He needs his breakfast fast.
Breakfast.
What?
It's a vine. You're too young.
Oh, yeah. And then Alfred calls Barry and asks for his help. Barry says, I can't. Ask Diana, who is Wonder Woman. Ask Clark, Superman. Both are busy. Well, Diana's not picking up her phone. Clark is busy. And then Bruce
saving a super volcano, I think.
Yeah, we see that on the news. We see Henry Cavill, Superman, on the news. And so then he asks Bruce, but Bruce is nowhere to be seen. So anyway, Barry goes and saves the day. This was a very weird scene. So when the place was all getting freaking broken down and like the hospital with all the babies, that was weird. I'm sorry.
It was.
That's the CGI fails there. The babies are
Yeah.
literally CGI. He puts
Can't
one of
throw
them
real
into the
babies out
microwave.
the window.
Yeah, yeah, and it looks like a video game. So that happens, and then obviously Bruce shows up. They save the day, goes well, and then Diana shows up. We get our first cameo. Bruce is our first cameo, but we get Wonder Woman. We get a Wonder Woman cameo. So Gal Gadot has cameo to two back-to-back movies, Fast X and spoiler, sorry, Fast X, and now The Flash.
You just dumped that on somebody.
My bad, guys.
This is gonna be one person be like, yep.
Yeah. So that happens. Cool. Wonder Woman cameo. We'd love to see it. Yeah. Yeah.
With that scene, yeah. So as you said with the babies, he kind of touches on it later about how, so how the Speed Force works. It kind of doesn't make sense to me. And for somebody who's watched, I want to say 7 seasons of the CW show.
Really?
6, and then I just watched the finales of it. Well, the first episode and the finale. Yeah, but I was a big fan up until probably about season 4, and then after that, it really dropped off. But, like season 4 was pretty stinky.
Damn.
But so he says later in the thing, talking to other Barry, younger Barry, you can put a baby. You can't take a baby you can't just hold a baby when you're running fast because it'll implode, which is fine. But you can put it in a microwave, and I don't know how that works. As physics, if the microwave is moving fast, the baby's still gonna have G-force. It's like if you chuck a baby in
right.
in like an F-22 Raptor, it's still gonna get the G-forces of going Mach 40. Like, not Mach 40. Those things cap out at like Mach 2. But like, yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
But the other problem I had was, it wasn't really a problem. It was kind of just like, why is this thing? Batman took so long to take down those enemies. It's not a problem. It's just like, that was a long segment, and he's on the Bat bike, and they're just in a Humvee with machine guns. Like, it kind of counteracts everybody being like, oh, Batman's amazing. Like, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
The Arkham games would have been done in like 30 seconds.
Before we started recording this review, I literally was saying to myself earlier that my rating after this review is definitely gonna drop just because Joseph's gonna point out the bad stuff about the film. Because honestly, that bit with the babies is the only bit I can say was bad about the film. Or was weird about the film. Everything else I loved, but I already know you're gonna critique something, and then it's gonna make me realize.
I hope I haven't okay.
Which is fair.
Yeah, no, it was just kind of I don't hate the movie for it. It didn't ruin the movie for me. Don't get me wrong. It was just for the Batman thing. It was just like he's being very methodical about taking these bad guys down. Yeah, he's on the Bat bike. He could have I'm sure he should have had some kind of disruptor that shuts the car down or something he just didn't. Ben Affleck's Batman just doesn't feel. I don't know. Maybe it's just this one because in the Justice League he kind of felt more high tech.
That's a good take. That's a fair take. I want to say this. You know Rick, the executive producer of The Mandalorian. Good old Rick.
Yeah. Ricky Dicky Doodograms. Sorry.
Yeah, he was the original director of this film.
Okay.
He was the original director 9 years ago.
It could have been amazing.
Okay, I like Andy. I like the director of this one, Andy. I'm gonna butcher this. Andy Mashachiaitai. I butchered that terribly.
Perfect.
Anyway, I like Andy. He was the director of this one.
Andrew.
And I want to talk about this at the end. We might make a separate episode on this because it's big. Announced today, a few hours ago, at the time of recording this, the 16th of June, 2023, 4:15 p.m., he was announced to be the director of the DCU's The Batman, the Brave and the Bold.
Oh.
That, I'm going to say this at the end,
You don't.
But that cameo, I have a massive theory for
Yep.
that cameo at the end. I don't know if people are gonna like it. I have a massive cameo which we will touch back on at the end. I don't want to touch it yet because I want to kind of go in chronological events of the film.
We will.
But do you know what I'm trying to say?
I have a feeling, and I don't think I like it.
Yeah.
But
And also, talking about Rick being the original director, you know Joby Harold, who wrote the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, was a co-writer of this film.
really,
Yeah.
look at
I saw him come up in the end credits and like, oh, fuck.
that was not to be expected.
Yeah. Co-writer. So, there was 3 writers of the film. There was, obviously, someone does the screen, but the story was by 3 people. And Joby Harold was one of them.
Yeah.
Which is... I don't like the guy.
Oh, we
But I
don't like him.
loved the
Okay.
movie. I do not like the guy, bro. I do not like him.
Because of
What
Obi-Wan.
he did to Obi-Wan.
Yeah, that's
Because
valid.
of Obi-Wan. Yeah.
You turned him against me. So I don't know where that came
from. Anyway, after okay. So
yeah.
after helping, do you have something to say? Let me get back into
No,
the
you're
plot.
good. You're good.
Okay, so after helping Bruce Wayne, Batman, and Diana, Wonder Woman, stop a
Wait, no,
bank
I do have
robbery.
something.
You
Sorry.
go tell me.
Sorry. So I don't know if you're going to touch up on this or not, but so he's got a monitor in his suit that monitors his metabolism rate.
Yes.
It's okay. It's a cool concept because yes, his metabolism works faster, so he can eat an absurd amount. But I had this discussion with a friend after the movie. So yes, so at the start of the movie, he's waiting for a sandwich, right? High calorie sandwich, very high calorie. It had like bloody everything. Sure, that's fine, cool. Wouldn't it have been faster to just have his own and then make it himself? I get he's running late and
Yes.
everything, but
Yeah.
he doesn't use his super speed normally because he runs out. It runs through his metabolism, but
I think the whole premise of it is he doesn't make his own food because he doesn't have time. And usually in the morning, it's a different worker, and that worker always
Yeah.
has his thing ready for him. But
But
this guy didn't.
it feels like to me, there are ways around it. It feels like a feeble way to nerf him, to make it so he's not like unimaginable. And so in the show, for instance, I'm going to relate back to the show because it's the only I have
Okay.
comic knowledge, but not for small details like this. In this show,
I'll say this now. I haven't seen the show. The
Yeah.
Flash show.
first 3 seasons, I'd say you can watch, and at the end of it, I will refer back to something else, which is a small theory of mine at the end of the recap. But so in the show, what they produce for him is like these super high calorie bars, and in the show, he's got Star Labs, which is what makes all the metahumans, which what kind of made Barry. If you can kind of argue that depending on your canon, but so they make like a super high calorie thing, and they just produce that for him, like a ton of that. You'd think Bruce Wayne, who made the suit, would be able to develop something like that, or find somebody who can develop something like that. He should have access to stuff like that, I feel. As part of the Justice League, he shouldn't be restricted to food, if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It just
It
felt
does
like
make sense.
a lazy way to nerf
But-
him,
Yeah.
or to make like a
I get what you're
comedic.
trying to say. I don't think it's. I definitely know your point of view.
It's an easy workaround, and they just don't use it.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm not gonna argue that. That's fair. I just think
Again, not a big problem. Just something I wanted to bring up that was
Yeah, no.
lazy writing. I feel.
Okay. That's
But no, now you can go on. I'm done. I just remember that I was going to bring it up.
That's fair. So after Barry helps Bruce and Wonder Woman stop a bank robbery gone wrong, where we see the weird freaking baby scene thingy. Barry revisits his childhood home, There he remembers his childhood with his parents. His dad's name's Henry, and his mum's name's what's his mum? What's Barry's
Nora.
mum's name?
Nora Allen.
Nora and Henry. Before, obviously, we know Henry got wrongfully imprisoned for Nora's murder, and so overcome by Barry's emotions, he accidentally travels back in time to earlier in the day and informs Bruce about it. And then we go back to Bruce Wayne, and that's the flashpoint, isn't it? When he goes too fast, he ends up cracking into like the
So the Speed Force kind of allows him
multiverse?
to.
Speed Force.
So yes, the Speed Force is what gives him his power. It's kind of a think of like gravity or light. It's its own element. It's its own
Yeah, right.
It's its whole. Yeah, it's its own element. And so he can tap into that. That's what gives him his speed. That's what makes it so when he breaks a sound barrier, it doesn't break the sound barrier. Like when he runs at the speed of sound, when you see, you know how when jets hit Mach 1, they make that sonic boom because that's them cracking the sound barrier. He doesn't do that because the Speed Force kind of stops it so that he doesn't, which is good because that would just destroy everything every time he hits a sound barrier. And then it kind of protects him from the harms of going that fast as well. Like it's all it's an element. It's an entire thing. I don't know how to. Yeah.
Okay.
And so when he goes faster than the speed of light, he goes into the Speed Force. That is the Speed Force.
Yeah.
I think. Well, what do they call it? Chromodome, I think.
I'm pretty sure they call it Force Speed. Speed Force.
Yeah. So
Speed.
Force speed. So yeah, he goes into the Speed Force, and yeah, so when he focuses on what he wants to, he can go back to that time. And so what Flashpoint is him. The entire Flashpoint series is him going back in time to save his mum.
Save his mum. Okay, but obviously, as we know in the film,
It ruins everything.
He can't do that. And then
And then if things don't go right, then he loses his powers and gets stuck there. And then when he comes back, because he still changed stuff, like how at the things at the end of the movie, you know how he fixes
that's why he's different.
fixes the Flashpoint, and then we get those problems, those issues. One being that his he made it so his father would looked up at the camera.
I would just say this now, yeah.
But the very last thing we see is because of Flashpoint. That's the beginning of Flashpoint.
Yeah. Right. I would say this now. They
bamboozled us
on Batfleck, bro.
Oh, they did.
Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck. You ain't in DC anymore. They crapped on them.
Yeah. We're not quite on that yet, but
no. But anyway, so yeah, Barry goes into the Speed Force thingy, and then when he comes out, he talks to Bruce about it in this dark alley thingy. Bruce has got his sick as rich boy Mercedes behind him from his parents' money.
That was just a little shot at Bruce Wayne right there, but all right. His parents' money, his dead parents' money.
Yeah, yes. Despite Bruce's warnings, that time travel can have very bad consequences to the whole timeline and the multiverse, Barry does a Barry thing and goes back to the day of his mother's death and basically tries to prevent it from happening, and this is where the film really starts. So now he's back in 2013, when the year his mother died.
Was it 2013?
Now keep this in mind. Yes. Yes, it was.
Oh,
keep
that's...
this in mind.
Yeah, I get you.
Man of Steel is set in 2013. Keep that in mind for something that we are just about to talk about. Man of Steel is set in 2013, the exact year Barry is currently in.
Yeah, he goes back as a kid, and then he gets kicked out of going back to his time. He gets kicked out into 2013.
As Barry tries to return to the present, he is knocked out of the Speed Force by another speedster and ends up in the alternate 2013 timeline where his mother is alive. He hugs his mother. They meet. Obviously, his mother thinks there's nothing different about him. His dad thinks he looks a little bit older, which was funny. Speaking of that, speaking of funniness, what did you think of the comedy lines in this movie?
There were a
My
few
mates
okay
didn't like
ones.
it.
I think I actually chuckled once, and it was when they were talking about the suits not fitting his dick.
I had many good laughs in this movie. Funniest DCEU movie, way better than cringy ass Marvel jokes. This
Marvel
movie was
used to be funny.
Not nowadays.
No, definitely not nowadays, but it used to be funny to an
Yeah,
extent.
sure.
The Iron Man,
I love the
just Iron Man.
But anyway, as Barry is, Barry is, freaking like
Traveling through the Speed Force to get home.
when he's
Oh
back with his
wait,
mum.
yeah. He's back with his
mum.
mother,
He's back
Nora.
with his parents, and then they sit down for some food, and he finds his past self, and now realizes he's arrived on the day he originally obtained his powers, which was September 29, 2013. I believe September
something.
2013. September. It was September 8. September something. I don't have this in my notes. September something 2013. And he realizes that, and he then clicked. He's smart boy Barry. He's like, if you don't get the powers, I'm gonna lose my powers.
Yep.
Because he thinks he's gone back in time, right? When he hasn't gone back in time, he's gone to another universe. Correct?
So okay.
Because this is where I'm confused.
All right.
Because if he had gone back in time, that means Michael Keaton's Batman still exists in that timeline. Because if this goes back in time, it's the same timeline. What I think it is he goes to a different universe.
Well, okay. So, how do I demonstrate this without a photo? So Barry's timeline we will refer to as the DCEU, like the main timeline. That's the main timeline.
DC, yeah.
So if you go back
DCEU, yes.
to, it's just a line. Imagine a string, and there are different points to the string. The string is infinite. The string is forever lasting. There are different points in the string, like you know how you have like your bar graph, like your little graphs in math, and you put your little dot points out where you're like your 20, your 30, your 40. So, our little line is when Barry's mum dies. Okay. And then that's where our start of the line is for us, at least. There's more before that, but we don't need that. So, that's where Barry's mum dies. Barry goes back to that point, right? So he goes from his point in time back to then. So he saves his mum. So instead of continuing through time again, it strands off. It goes up. It goes down. It goes around. It goes anywhere but that timeline. So it doesn't move through it. It kind of moves around that timeline.
To a different timeline?
It creates a new one entirely. Maybe not creates a new one, but he goes back into a timeline. Yeah, you're kind of right. I don't know if it either creates a new timeline, or as you said, he jumps to a new timeline. I'm pretty sure he creates a new timeline.
So Michael Keaton really never existed. Michael Keaton's Batman really never existed. He only exists because of DCU Barry creating that timeline.
They never confirmed it, but they could have actually just gone into the Batman Is it Batman Begin? No, the Batman 1980s.
The Batman
universe. They could have done that.
This is called Batman.
I don't know if they did.
That is in that universe, is it not?
It could be, but it could be like a One Division thing where
because
it's like
there's no Clark Kent in that universe.
Yeah, no, they could have just actually gone to the Batman 1980s.
I'm pretty sure they did.
Universe, which then means that So yeah, you can either jump between timelines, as you said, or I don't know. They didn't like. They could have just made it so this timeline had Batman as Michael Keaton. Like there's an infinite amount of timelines, which means that there's an infinite amount of Batmans that look like Michael Keaton. There's we can get Christian Bale's Batman back. We could get that's anything realistically.
I was questioning why do the Bruce Waynes in the different universes look different, but the Barrys in the two universes don't look different.
It's because there's an infinite amount of them. Well, actually, no, there is another reason for this.
So it's just a coincidence?
So there's another reason for this, all right? So you know how kind of jumping through the plot a little bit, how Batman and when do you remember what the absolute point was in this movie?
The absolute what?
The absolute point. So the thing that they couldn't change, the
Yes.
stuff that they couldn't change
Right. Yeah.
at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
So that is an absolute point, which means no matter what happens, this has to happen. So I could be wrong, but I believe that Barry Allen becoming the Flash is an absolute point in every universe. He may not look like Ezra Miller, because in, I think, season 6 of The Flash, they are playing around, and there's like a little cameo of Ezra Miller and Grant Gustin's Flash, like playing with each other. They're both Barry Allens,
Yeah.
but they look different. Yeah, you saw that? Okay, so that.
I've seen
so
that.
they're
I saw that
both
on
Barry
TikTok.
Allens, but
Yeah. They look
so
different.
I think, I could be wrong, but I think that Barry Allen becoming the Flash is an absolute point in every multiverse.
So every single universe where a Barry Allen exists,
Barry
they are
Allen is the
bound
Flash.
to become the Flash.
Yes.
So that one, but it just happens in different ways.
It can happen in different ways, yes.
Because the only reason that Barry in the Michael Keaton universe, let's just say that the universe they popped into is the Michael Keaton universe from the 1980s films. Let's stick with that for now until we figure it out.
Yeah.
Just to make it a lot easier to explain. So the Barry in the Michael Keaton's universe that they popped into, that DCEU Barry popped into, to try to save his mother. That Barry was always going to become the Flash with powers, but it would have happened to him in a different way, because the only reason he got his powers is because a DCEU Barry told him to go into the lab, because it was the exact day he got his powers.
That could be the reason he gets powers. Is this could all be a whole timeline thing where
that always happened. He always went.
Yeah. Timelines are wacky, but
this is why I don't want this in Star Wars. Star Wars, stay away from the multiverse. They Filoni with your world between worlds. Don't do that. Do not freaking create time travel.
It could be a whole number of things. I think in Flashpoint, like the animated movie, and I think also I know in the show, it was Reverse Flash that made Barry get struck by lightning. Like it was as they say in the show, he wasn't hit by the lightning, he was chose by it, kind of thing. So it's kind of like fate.
Right.
And we kind of know that those two, like the show and the movie, have at least something to do with each other, because
is it canon that Barry Allen DCU meets Barry Allen's CW, the CW?
Well, this is what I mean by multiverses. Technically, they could have, yeah.
Right, because it could just be a different one. It might not be the DCU one.
Yeah, so you haven't watched Loki, have you?
No.
So Lokis can meet other Lokis from different timelines. So it's kind of like that. Like different timelines create different universes.
Yeah.
So
okay.
That's why there's an infinite. Like there could be a universe in which, even if it hasn't been created yet, it's still being created, kind of thing. Where because of the butterfly effect, like tomorrow I could show up at your house and slap you, or tomorrow I could show up at your house and punch you. That's two different things, and it's going to be two different outcomes, in which will create two different entire different universes. I could show up at your back door, I could throw an egg at your window and then punch you through your window. Like, sorry why I'm punching you so much, but like, does that make sense? Like, the smallest of things creates a different thing entirely.
Yeah, because
and so that's why there's an infinite
amount. Because at the end, exactly when his dad looks up at the camera, that then obviously changes.
Yeah, that's all it was, and that's how big of an influence it could be.
Which is weird. Just because he looks at the camera, it's a different Bruce Wayne, I'd say it. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's
weird.
It is, and
it's confusing.
It's kind of it is very hard to. It is very confusing, and there's different theories for time travel. So there's obviously the so this is multiverse theory, which I think was Einstein's theory, where
Einstein had a theory about the multiverse.
I think this was Einstein's theory about time travel. But the other major one is the I'll just refer it to as the Back to the Future one, where it doesn't create another universe, just what happens. So it creates a paradox.
Parallel universes.
No, so basically with time travel, it's either there's other universes that get used, or there's simply just the one. And so you haven't watched Back to the Future.
Back to the Future.
Okay.
I haven't watched time travel shit very.
So it's so in Back to the Future, Marty goes into the future, goes back to the past, because they stole uranium and there are terrorists coming to kill them, and so he goes back to the past on accident, and so the movie plays on, and then at the end, wait, hold on. I'm okay. So if I were to go to the future, come back into the past, and then tell myself not to do something.
Wait, what? Go to the future, come back.
Okay,
to
if
the
I
past.
were to go through time and then time travel from say 2040, come back to right now, and then tell myself something, I would still have to go through time until 2040, and then I would still the person who right now who just got told something from 2040 would still have to go to 2040 to tell myself that thing. So time doesn't string off into its another thing. It just has to happen that way.
Okay.
If you go back in time and change it, that is the way that it happened in that time. In time. It's really hard to explain.
This shit is just too
I'm sure if you looked up YouTube videos, they'd explain it a lot better.
Yeah, I'm gonna do. Yeah.
But
Anyway.
yes,
Anyway.
you're welcome for just.
Anyway, thank you. Anyway, yeah. So when Barry realizes it's September 29, 2013, the day he got his powers, he thinks because he's gone back in time, if this Barry doesn't get his powers, he's gonna lose his powers. So Barry and his 2013 counterpart go to the place where Barry got his got struck by lightning, and makes it so the 2013 Barry gets struck by lightning, which gives the 2013 Barry powers. But here's the twist: the DCEU Barry loses his powers in the progress.
Which doesn't make sense to me.
I feel like it just because he got struck by lightning again, it kind of evaporated within him.
But to me, that should have just.
I don't know.
But then,
Anyway,
if it's. See, this is why it was weird to me, the way that they did it all. So.
Yeah, because I don't have any Flash knowledge. So that's why we see the movie differently. I got no prior Flash knowledge. I had no idea how the Flash canon works, what the comic books are. I got nothing. Flashpoint.
This is the way that we know that it's not a different universe. It's the same universe, but it's now different because it's changed. It's
the same universe. But
because.
It's
changed. It's the same universe, but it's changed because of time. It's the same point, and they stem from the same point in time because that's when the change happened. But, we know that it's the same one. Otherwise, Barry wouldn't have lost his speed. Barry losing his speed doesn't make sense to me because he should have lost his speed at the point of time where he travels back to 2013 when he got kicked out. He should have lost his speed then, because by that point, that Flash that Barry wouldn't have gotten.
Right. Which is why I think it's not. He doesn't go back in time. He goes to a different universe.
But then he shouldn't have lost his powers if he's in a different universe.
Well, because he got struck by lightning again.
But it wasn't him, because it's a different universe, Barry.
No, when 2013 Barry got struck by lightning, DCEU Barry was trying to sit the 2013 Barry down so he would get struck by lightning, but 2013 Barry's like, I don't want to get struck by lightning, and then the lightning goes through the window, goes through DCEU Barry, and then into 2013 Barry.
Yeah.
They both get struck by lightning. Again.
But our Barry doesn't get the chemicals put on him again. He just gets struck by lightning.
Maybe his body had too much energy then, because he's obviously got that powers in him, and because he got struck by lightning again.
I don't know.
Even though the chemicals didn't get spilled on him, maybe it evaporated within him.
To me, it's not explained very well.
Because
No, it's fine. I get what you mean, but it doesn't really make sense in that sense.
Um. Anyway. As DCU Barry is trying to help his 2013 counterpart Barry use his powers, the two of them see a broadcast by General Zod. Yeah. So this is where I said, remember this is set 2013 Man of Steel. General Zod is back, who is preparing to invade the Earth. So I guess in 2013, in every single universe, or most universe, well, not every single one, but in this one, 2013, it's the same General Zod that.
Yeah.
It's not the same General Zod, but you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
2013 is when General Zod invaded DCEU, and then same with this universe. Obviously, it's different. Anyway, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So Barry's like, oh no, this is not good. So he attempts to find and assemble the Justice League, but he's unsuccessful in this timeline, as they are unable to locate Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Superman,
Cyborg.
yeah, Cyborg, which is Victor Stone.
Yes.
Yes. So the two Barrys travel to Bruce Wayne's dark mansion, alright? Hoping to find the Batman, but instead find an alternate, older version of Bruce Wayne who has retired from crime fighting. They convince Bruce to help them find Clark Kent, who's Superman, by using a backdoor connection to NASA within the Batcave. Really sick to see that Batcave, by the way.
I went to the toilet. I missed it.
You dickhead. No way. Did you see the
I saw none of it. I came in and I'm like, what did I miss? And he's just like,
did you
I saw a little bit of the Batcave, but I missed the car.
So the Michael Keaton's Joker, right? 1989.
Yeah.
The Joker's laughing bag is in there. Did you see that bit?
No.
Oh,
I missed the car.
That was a really sick little Easter egg. The Joker's laughing bag from the 1989's Batman is in the flag.
That's cool.
It was funny. Damn, bro, that's the worst time.
Yeah. I was kind of hoping. So I lean over to my friend and I'm like, because this is when they just got into the manor and they're like looking around. And he's like creeping up on him. I said to my friend, I'm like, I hope it's Thomas Wayne, because in the animated movie, it's kind of the same thing. Flash is like looking for Bruce, and he's walking around. He's like, Bruce, Bruce, and then Batman jumps on him, and he's like, how do you know my son's name? You should watch Flashpoint, like the animated TV show. Animated movie. It's pretty good. Like, it's claimed to be one of the best, maybe one of the best comic book movies, as in animated. And one of the best Flash, probably the best piece of Flash content you can get.
Is the the Arrowverse? What's it called?
That's what it is. CW.
The CW, is the CW good? That's what the shows. It's got the Flash in it. It's got the Arrow. It's got
okay, I'll go over it like this.
And Lois.
Apparently, that's really good. I haven't watched it. Superman and Lois. That one's that one's hard to explain. I'm pretty sure that's now out of the Arrowverse because of reasons.
Right.
It was part of the Arrow. I think it is. This is why DC have kind of already gone off the tracks. This is why I didn't like the Flashpoint in the first place. I didn't like them using Flashpoint in the first place because it's already like confusing people, and now they're just not gonna. So the Arrowverse, first I think 3 seasons of the Flash is good, and I wanna touch on something at the very end of the movie about a character. Not the same thing as you, but Arrow. I really like Arrow. Season 4 is iffy.
I started watching the Arrow ages ago on Netflix. I was in primary school. I don't know how many episodes I watched.
Oh wow!
But I remember I watched.
It definitely has its iffies. They're soap operas, so they're like single episode dramas leading up to a big finale. Arrow was really good. Like I think after season 5, you could probably stop watching it. I finished it and I thought it was alright, but like Arrow kind of kickstarted just superhero TV shows in general. The Flash again, it's soap opera. It's kind of iffy. The acting's not perfect. Definitely far from perfect, but that's just because they're low budget CW shows. If it was made by Apple or if it was made by Netflix, they'd be significantly better.
Right.
Again, season 3 or after season 3 of The Flash, you watch it. Supergirl's all right. It's gotten to very apparently. I stopped after season 2. It gotten very apparently woman empowerment and like very cringy in that. I don't know. I haven't seen it. That's just what I've seen online of what people hate about it. But you know what people are like online. So take that as you will. And then Legend of Tomorrow, which is it's all right. Again, that's probably like the worst one out of them. It's very iffy. It's very that one's very satirical. It's just kind of trying to be funny and trying to be fun with a low budget, which is hard to do. They traveled through time, fixing time. What time bandits and just illegal time people break time. They try to fix it. It's a cool concept and it's just a fun cast. Like it's an easy show. You don't really need to watch it. But I just like Arrow.
All right.
Yeah.
Fair.
Funnily enough, my sister told me to watch it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
She only watched up to season 3 and then she stopped, but I watched all of it. But
yeah,
if you like The Flash, I recommend watching the first 3. It's on Stan, and if you have a VPN, it's on VPN.
Apparently
Netflix.
apparently the CW shows CGI is like terrible. Is the Flash movie got better CGI?
So again, the first few seasons lately, apparently I've seen things lately. The Flash has been absolutely god awful. Like genuinely, you could make it better.
I've heard that.
I could make it better. Like I've played probably about an hour and a half's worth of Photoshop, and I could do it. It used to be. It had its moments. I remember one specifically. He's running into a bank, and it looks funky. But it used to be a lot better. Again, this is my season. Anything after season 3 is kind of like there, but it's not. It never used to be that bad. Again, significantly low budget, but yeah, the movie should have been better in my opinion for its CGI.
Okay, I agree. That the thing is, the movie could not. 9 years. They had to just get it done. I will never say release a rushed movie. Movies are a piece of art. They should be perfect, but they could not lift the budget any higher. Warner Brothers are in more depth than Disney. The budget for The Flash is 220 million. Whether or not they make that back, because the last DCEU movie to make over that was, I'm gonna say, Aquaman, which
Wait,
made
what?
over
220 million it needs to make.
So the budget's 220 million. To break even, it probably got to hit over 300 million.
It can do that.
Keep in mind, the last DC movie, Shazam, made 120 million, and
The Flash
Ezra
should do
Miller's
better.
not a very light guy. But then you're gonna get all the OGs, Michael Keaton. My dad has never seen a DCU movie apart from Black Adam in his life, but he's going to see this because Michael Keaton's in it. My dad thought this movie was a Batman movie. He asked me, this is a true story. He said to me, "Why is it called The Flash?" Because he's seen the trailers and everything. He's like, "Why is it called The Flash?"
That's my point,
like,
bro.
Oh my god.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I definitely think give The Flash a watch. You probably won't like it. That's fine.
Okay.
I tried rewatching it and it's a bit iffy, but that's also because I've seen it.
Yeah, I want to. I'll start watching on my trip to Cairns. Cause
Do you have a VPN?
I don't have a VPN. Why?
Do you have
not
Stan?
Get CW. I do have Stan.
Oh, then it's on. Watch it on Stan then. I'm getting Stan because The Walking Dead Dead City's coming out.
Oh yeah.
So,
I saw that. I saw a trailer for that.
If you don't have Stan, then I'm getting it. So I'll just give you the account.
Okay, I'll watch it when I'm going up north because we're driving up there. So it's like we're driving for like 3-4 days. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. So just it's not bad. I'd definitely say give it a go, but I'm not gonna blame you if you don't like it.
That's that's right. I do want to give it a go.
And if you like this movie, then you'll.
I love this movie. But going back to the CGI in the Flash movie, some scenes are good, some scenes are fine. There are some scenes with the two Barrys where they obviously did a overlay of them. So Ezra Miller filmed both parts, but then there's other scenes where you can tell that that's a CGI Ezra Miller, and it's really off-putting. But anyway, there are some scenes like through the Speed Force thing. That CGI was bad.
Yeah,
However,
him running.
The director said in the Speed Force thingy where he breaks the timeline in that area, you know, when he sees all the past events.
Yeah.
The director said, because all that is CGI, the people we see in there, we see Henry Cavill's Superman, he's CGI. The director, Andy, said it's meant to look like that because it's not reality. That's what he said. And the first thing that came to my mind, and I saw comments of this, is bro's just trying to cover up the lazy ass visual effects. And I do not blame the visual effects artists. Visual effects artists should be going on strike. They are overworked, underpaid, especially by Disney and Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
They are the two big companies that overwork, underpay their visual effects artists, and it's the reason why visual effects are shite nowadays.
Yeah.
So that's that. Anyway. Where were we up to? General Zod invading the Earth.
Yeah.
He's Barry was looking for the Justice League. Obviously, doesn't really exist. It doesn't exist in this universe. And so they're unable to locate anyone from the Justice League. Barry tries calling Arthur Curry, who's Aquaman. We get Boba Fett. I said that too loud. Shit. I don't want to spoil that for my brother. He hasn't seen it yet. Tamora Morrison cameo.
Yep.
Yeah, that was cool. That's
It was cool.
That's funny.
We like that.
And freaking Arthur Curry in this universe is a dog.
Apparently.
Which was funny, and his wife is in a freaking Atlantis mermaid. That was funny. You see, that was a funny phone call.
It was.
I did like that. So yeah. As I said, the two Barrys travel to find Batman. They get to him. And they convince Bruce to help them find Clark Kent, Superman, and they use a backdoor connection to the NASA within the Batcave, and locate a Kryptonian pod. Kryptonian. There you go. Thanks, mate. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Kryptonian pod that was is where the Clark Kent is, except in this universe it's not Clark Kent. It is Supergirl.
Kara. Kara. What was her name?
Kara.
Yeah.
Kara.
Her name in her world name is Kara Denver. Oh, I suppose it depends, but yeah, it's Kara. I don't know her. I forgot how you say. Is it Kara? It's.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's Kara. Anyway, she claims to be Clark Kent. Well, Clark Kent is not a name that exists because Clark Kent isn't Superman's real name. It's his Earth name. I'm pretty sure they say. Clark Kent's real name is
Kal-El.
What is his real name? Kal-El. Yeah. So Supergirl claims to be Superman's Kal-El's cousin.
Oh, she is.
Which is interesting.
Supergirl is.
Oh, she. Okay, cool. Oh, learn something new every day. You see what I mean? I don't have this knowledge, bro. Freaking throw me Star Wars knowledge, I answer it. Throw me freaking this kind of knowledge, I don't fucking know. Anyway, they rescue Kara from the facility she's trapped in. She's pale as shit. She's weak. She's not looking great. But Barry asks Bruce to help him get his powers back by recreating the original accident. So they basically try to do. Yeah, that's weird. They try to put the electricity back into him.
Yeah. Remember, it's more so the chemicals as well. It's a lot of the chemicals out here, which is weird because it's just forensic chemicals. But that's just the Flash being the Flash. But yeah, to me, it's a bit like. Yeah, I never understood that part of the story. If somebody could actually explain it to me, I'd be very grateful because to me, it's how does he lose his powers when he gets powers? Yeah. When his younger self gets powers, when they just mean that he's... Yeah.
Well, the first attempt does fail, surprise, surprise, and it nearly kills Barry, nearly kills him, which prompts Kara to fly Barry into the storm to get struck by real lightning, which ultimately, coincidentally, no surprise, works. He's got his
Yeah.
powers back. Bravo.
I thought that they were going to make it so 2013 Barry would throw lightning at him.
Yeah.
Because you know how they have the charge. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So So it would kind of pay homage to Justice League because that's what he does to revive Superman in the Lazarus Pit. Is they get Barry to throw lightning at it. Remember? You didn't watch. Yeah, you watched Justice League.
I've seen Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Yeah. Well, how'd they revive Superman? It was with the Lazarus Pit,
Yeah.
but Barry
couldn't
throws
tell you.
lightning at him.
Right.
So
So they
I
did
really
that.
thought they were going to teach him
They-
how to throw lightning, but they didn't. It's kind of disappointing. That's okay though.
Yeah, but who would have taught him?
Oh, he would have. I don't know.
Yeah.
It would have been cool.
Anyway,
Go on.
Yeah. Fair enough. Kara and Bruce now join the two Barrys to fight Zod. They come across Zod, well, he's Zod's forces at this point, and now during the battle with Zod, Kara learns that Zod intercepted an infant of Kal-El's escape pod and killed him during a failed attempt to retrieve with growth codex.
Yeah.
The growth codex needed to remake Earth into what's Superman's home
Krypton.
planet? Krypton. See, what am I doing? Krypton. So they were gonna, make Earth Krypton. And so basically, Clark Kent does not exist. He died. Or Kal-El died by Zod, and well, Kara is not very happy about that. So anyway, the two Anyway, the fight goes on, and I want to say this too. This movie, Zod was not really a villain.
No.
This movie did not have a villain,
Whoa.
a real antagonist.
I'll get onto it.
Okay.
So just finish up and get to that part.
Okay.
I'll explain it a little bit better for you.
Something I'm about to say.
I agree though. I agree that there wasn't a
big.
big villain. I was kind of hoping there would
What
be.
I'm
It was
about
times
to
the villain.
say, what I'm about to say is like a big part of the movie and something I don't like about the movie. So I'm just gonna go tell my brother that I'm recording a flash review. I should have done that before because I don't want him to be spoiled. So it'll be like 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
Yep.
We back.
We back.
We're good to go.
I'm actually kind of curious to see what you're gonna say because I didn't have any big. Maybe you're gonna awaken my eyes. Maybe I'm gonna drop my rating.
Really?
I don't know what you're gonna say. It's kind of got me intrigued.
Okay, so see this bit. So in this bit of the fight with Zod, so they're fighting Zod. Okay, now Zod is overpowers and kills Kara, while Batman, Michael Keaton, is also killed.
Yeah.
But the two Barrys travel back through the time to try and save their companions. But they can't do it and they're unable to change their fates. Michael Keaton's Batman's dead.
Yeah. Is that what you don't like? Is that the entire thing?
I don't fucking like that, dude. What the hell?
Yeah.
Why'd
So
I have to kill him? Why'd I have to kill him?
that is the absolute point that I was talking about. They didn't know. That's just the writers, not what they doing it.
Let him help Barry, and then boom, he helps him. That's his last job, and he goes back and goes be a grumpy old man with long beard. Don't
Yeah.
kill him. Why do we
I don't
always
like
have to
that.
see legacy characters be killed like that, bro? We don't need to see characters be killed. Like, we
Yeah, that's
don't.
what I
Like,
liked
half
about
the time we
Guardians.
don't.
Everyone thought that people were going to
Yeah.
get killed, and then nobody got killed, and it was
And
really
no one
wholesome.
died.
Nobody had to die.
Biggest issue with Star Wars sequels. Don't mean to talk about the Star Wars, but Luke Skywalker dying, bro. We didn't have to die. He should have just Episode 9. He should have lived on after Episode 9, and we don't know what else happens. That is what I hope Dave does with Ahsoka. I hope we never ever see Ahsoka's death. I don't think we will, unless someone else does it. I don't think Dave will ever kill Ahsoka. I don't think
Dave
we'll ever see
won't.
that.
Dave would have to die for anybody to kill Ahsoka.
Yeah, Ahsoka never has to die. I don't know why they have
Yeah.
to do this. Michael Keaton's Batman didn't have to die, man.
It was to be like a compelling story thing for. It was to make it so. So what we'll do is, I'll carry it on a little bit. So because they keep going back in time, 2013 Barry really is just trying to save them, and this is the absolute point that we're talking about, that I was talking about before, where they have to die. They just will die no matter what. You can't stop it.
Yeah.
They die. And I agree. I think I think it was necessary. I don't like the direction that the entire movie went. I feel like it should have been more. I wish we got a Flash villain, like so technically we did in
What's his name in the Dark Flash?
Yeah.
Which
so
is
that I have a theory. This is what I was talking about before. Where this is my theory for it. Again, nothing's confirmed. This is just what I think they were going for. So that is Barry from 2013, just continuously trying, right? That's the Barry from 2013 that just won't give up. Yeah?
Yes.
That, to me, and the way that he looked, is Savitar, who is a variant of Barry Allen who travels through time and just tries to make it so he's the kind of the best. Like it's his way of doing it. So that's what that was to me. That was Savitar to me, where he just keeps trying to go through time. Because he was getting, you could tell he was getting, 2013 Barry was getting really aggressive at one point. And then to me that looks like Savitar, that felt like Savitar, which is cool, I like that. And he's a real Flash villain. And yeah, I thought it was cool, but I didn't like the entire direction of the movie. I felt like they could have gone somewhere else with it. Give us a different storyline. I don't know. But yeah, to me that was Savitar, who, he travels through time and is a variant of Barry Allen who, in the CW show, Iris dies and Barry, keeps going back through time to try to save her, and then he turns into Savitar because he realizes he can't save her.
Right. Got you. I feel like this movie did okay without no real big overshadowing villain.
Yeah.
And so they're dead. They're dead. They're gone. And I thought that'd bring them back. I generally thought, they're not dead. Like, they're just going back in time and they'll get him. I thought, they did it twice, didn't work. I'm like, they'll go one more, they'll get them back. Didn't happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, they keep trying. Barry, Barry, DCEU realizes that they're not able to save them. 2013 Barry keeps trying, repeatedly traveling back through time. He does it, but always failing. And as the 2013 Barry travels, the multiverse, here we go, starts to collapse in on itself. Eventually,
Yes.
the Dark's speedster, who originally knocked Barry out of the Speed Force, returns and is revealed to be an older version of the 2013 Barry, who still believes he can save his world from Zod, and prevent the deaths of Batman and Kara.
Yeah.
He explains the casual loop paradox that led to his own creation, but grows angry when Barry reveals his own intention to reverse his action by letting Nora die.
Yeah.
Angry, the Dark Speedster attempts to kill Barry, but impales the 2013 Barry, who sacrifices himself to save Barry and wipes the Dark Speedster from the timeline.
Because that is him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we get some cameos here. Quite a bit. Very surprising, crazy. Like, what the freak? I'll say my biggest one that I was also in the fight. Before we move on from the fight scene, going back, they had references of Back to the Future and stuff in this. We got it. We got an Emperor Palpatine Star Wars reference.
Did we?
Did you hear that? Yeah. So in the thing when they're using the lightning, Barry says something. What if I just with his lightning? He says something like, "What if I just Emperor this guy?"
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it is. It was cool.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It is very
I know
cool.
what you're talking about now.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. But yes, now to the cameos. So during the Flash's climactic Speed Force scene, many different DC universes are shown from across the multiverse. These universes are shown as multicolored spears, which reverses the way DC themselves depict the multiverse. And they try to make it different to the MCU because they've already established the multiverse in a cinematic way. But yes, 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 yes. We see Christopher Reeve.
Yep,
Christopher
I thought
Reeve's
so.
Superman, which was cool. He was CGI. He was CGI, but he looked fine. He didn't look like a video game character. We saw CGI. We saw Christopher Reeve's Superman. We see Helen Slater's Supergirl. And John Williams' Superman School plays here.
Yeah.
And oh, dude, I was like, this is great, bro. Like, I just love fan service. I love cameos, bro. I just love it. It's why I love No Way Home so much. And then we see Nicolas Cage's Superman. So, do you know the story? Do you know the story?
No, I don't. I didn't even
Okay.
take notice of that, to be honest.
You didn't see it? Dude, so ages ago, right? A while back. Now, Nicholas, a very, a while back, Nicolas Cage, was cast as
Was this
Superman
before Henry
to play
Cavill?
a new Superman, way before Henry Cavill, early 1990s, I want to say.
Oh, okay.
I want to say maybe early 2000s, ages ago, more than 20 years ago.
Yeah.
He was cast to play Superman. 3 weeks out from starting filming, the film gets scrapped. The film was wrote and everything. They were just about to film, and it got scrapped. So he never got to play Superman. But his Superman lives on in The Flash. We see him in action, and it was cool. I didn't think it was gonna happen. I knew about it. That Nicolas Cage was going to,
Yeah.
but never did I think we're gonna. It didn't even. It wasn't even in my mind that a while back that he was meant to play him, and then I see him and it all clicks. That was really
Yeah.
nice that his Superman movie still happened. We just never got to see it.
Exactly. He got to play Superman. We
Um,
just never saw it. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a Nicolas Cage dream.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I think we also saw Melissa
now-
Benoist, who's the CW one. I wasn't
Right.
sure
Yes, we saw some CW. I was gonna ask you. We saw some CW characters. We did.
though. We would have also got. I wouldn't have noticed this. We would have gotten Smallville Superman as well. I think. I would like to assume so.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah. Okay. That's
The first Batman, Adam West. We see Adam West's Batman.
Yep.
Same with Adam West's Joker. I forget the guy who plays him, but we see Adam West's Joker. We see Lewis Wilson as Batman. Yeah.
I'll watch like a game rant. Sorry. What is it?
It was
Screen rant.
Screen
I'll watch
Crush.
a Screen Crush. That's it. I'll watch the
Screen
Screen
Crush.
Crush video, and they'll have all the cameos in there. So
yeah.
I'll
But they were just a few that I picked up on and remembered.
yeah.
Very, very, very cool. Obviously, Nicolas Cage was a big one for me, as well as Christopher Reeves. But Nicolas Cage's was a very I was cheering in the cinema. I was literally
Yeah.
I was like, no way! What? It was cool. It was cool. It was very cool. But yeah. And then that's basically the climax of the film. In the aftermath, Barry does he undoes everything. He undoes the changes he made to the timeline and comes to terms with his mother's death. However, he makes a minor change in the past, which is his dad looking up at the security camera, so he never goes to prison. So it creates new evidence in present day that proves Henry's innocence. After returning to the present day and helping helping Henry to be free, Barry is contacted by Bruce Wayne, who appears. He comes up in his nice rich boy parents' money Mercedes. He obviously thinks it's his. I'm never gonna stop saying that. He obviously thinks it's his Bruce Wayne, because why would it not be?
You could tell on the phone. I could tell.
Yeah.
I'm like, I
I'm
leaned
surprised
over.
he didn't.
Yeah,
I'm surprised.
I'll tell you after, but yeah, finish up, and
Yeah.
then I'll tell you who I thought it
Yeah.
was going to be.
And so he gets out of the car, and then Barry's like, who the F are you?
Actually says the F word,
Yeah, he does.
which was very
And
mature of DC.
who was it? Fucking George Clooney's Batman. Batman and Robin. What?
The best Batman.
This is where no, go away. This is where I was like, so we see him. I was like, no way, it's gonna be no way it's going to be. There's no way it's gonna be
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale's Batman.
That's a thought. That's what I said. I leant over to my friend and I'm like, it's going to be Christian Bale.
That's what my friend next to me, who funny enough, his name's Joseph as well. Funny and he's like
cheating on me.
It's a different version of you. I just pulled him out of the.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because I was busy, so you pulled him out of the universe, so you could. Good save. Good save.
Yeah. He leans over. And he's like, Christian Bale. It's fucking George Clooney. I cringed. I love George Clooney, but I cringe. And so this is where I go back. Does this mean George Clooney is going to be the Batman of the DCU? Because the director of Batman's DCU movie is the director of The Flash, Andy, who also made a cameo in the movie. Andy made a cameo in the movie.
I highly doubt it because isn't it like
well,
his
what
debut
I think
year as Batman? Or is it going to be a flashback?
Well, yeah, well, I don't. What if I posted this on Twitter with my theories to this? What if that is not Barry's universe, DCEU universe? What if he is in a different universe where his dad still went to prison, his mum died, his dad went to prison because there was no thing on the top shelf.
His dad was in prison, but he got let out because of Bruce Wayne's tech.
Yeah, but what if it's a different universe?
Well, it is because it's now the Flashpoint universe. This is what Flashpoint is the new universe.
So is this the DC
After
universe?
Barry
That's the biggest question
So-
everybody has right now.
Yeah.
Is this the DC universe? So
I think it has
this
to be.
is what I tweeted on
because
Twitter.
this is what James Gunn. James Gunn's not going to use Flashpoint and then reset the universe not using Flashpoint.
Well, because apparently DC. So what is the DCE universe destroyed? So anyway,
it's not
this is what I
destroyed. It's
tweeted
just
on
not
Twitter.
there anymore. It's not in use
I
anymore.
tweeted this on Twitter. I might have figured it out. What if the ending with Clooney is saying that Barry is trapped in Clooney's universe, and depending on how well the film does, will determine whether he's stuck there for good, or they use Ezra for the DCU.
Yeah,
Maybe
I don't know. They're just, to me, they're digging themselves a bigger and bigger hole because so Barry fixed it, right? But it's not going to be perfect anymore. Okay. So that's what Flashpoint is. It's that he goes back, saves his mum, and all this stuff happens where he's going to lose his powers, blah, 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 whatever storyline you want to play with. And then he comes back, and then it's all different. It's all, like, not all different, like, it's kind of different, but yes, like George Clooney looks different. Batman looks different.
Yeah, because Bruce Wayne at the start
and
of the film
I'm sure there'll
says,
be other things as well.
Bruce Wayne said to Barry at the start, you're taking risks doing this. You change one minor thing and it could change a major thing in the timeline.
Yeah.
So he's not in the DCEU universe at the end there?
No, it's they call it the Flashpoint universe. So it's not the same as the start of the movie. It's a lot alike. It's a lot alike. But technically it's different.
Right. Yes. So it's.
I'm sure there'll be tons of videos out there explaining all the time travel stuff. But yes, no, I thought that it was going to be Christian Bale, and I was like really hyped.
Me too. He did say he's not returning unless Nolan returns.
That's fair.
It would have been nice. It would have been sick, which is very fair.
Yeah, I wouldn't have asked him to come back if it wasn't.
Anyway, that was the Flash movie. Well, until the end credit. We waited to the end credit. I thought it was going to be something sick, and it was really going to set up the new DCU.
I'll tell you what I thought it was going to be.
Dude.
Once you're done.
What do you think it was going to... Okay, so basically it's drunk freaking...
Arthur Curry.
It's drunk Arthur Curry, Aquaman, and Barry is basically explaining or his experiences traveling through the multiverse was a bit weird. But hey, it was funny. Friend Jason Momoa. Yeah. What do you think it was gonna be? What do you think?
Well, I didn't think. Sorry, I wasn't sure if it was going to be this or not, but I was kind of hoping that they. So there's two things that kind of led me to that they left all these things out.
Yeah.
So I thought that we were going to get a Reverse Flash cameo, but I assume that they were waiting to give that for something that they would actually know would work. But
Wait. What? Say that again.
I thought they were going to give us Reverse Flash, but I think they were too afraid to in case the movie
Yeah.
flopped. But so Reverse Flash, right? Yeah. So I just thought it was going to be I just thought that they were going to give us Reverse Flash, and I thought it was going to be something simple like that. But they stuck with the Arthur Curry thing, which I thought was okay. But I would have liked a Reverse Flash. But I assume they're just waiting for they weren't sure if the movie's going to do well, and you don't want to waste Reverse Flash
That's fair.
on anything like that. But yeah, no, that's all it is.
That's our review. This was one of our longest movie reviews. I think an hour and a half we've been recording for.
Oh
Joseph,
wow!
what do you give it out of 5?
I think a 3, but it could go up. I don't see it going down in my next viewing.
Yeah.
I could see it only going up or staying where it's at.
Okay, that's okay. Well, last night after I saw it, I gave it a 4.5 out of 5. I would have gave it a 5 out of 5 if the CGI was good, but you've brought up issues that I now see, and I give it a 4 out of 5. I lower it by 0.5. It's not dropping from a 4. I am not putting it into the 3s. It's a 4 out of 5 for me, which is spectacular. Again, the issues we talked about before, I think if they were changed, if they were evaluated, then it can go back up to a 4.5, and then I'm always going to leave that 0.5 out for the CGI because it was a mess. But, I do appreciate that they finally finished the movie, and I freaking loved it. And one of the most controversial takes I'm ever going to have, I already know it. The Flash is my 4th ever favorite DC movie. Not DCEU movie, it's my favorite DCEU movie. 4th favorite DC movie ever. Includes all of Christopher Nolan's Batmans, includes the Matt Reeves Batman movie. Well, it goes The Dark Knight, the Joker, the Batman, the Flash. The Dark Knight, the Joker 2019, the Batman 2022, and the Flash 2023. How do you feel about that?
I don't think it's a. I don't think it's a Joker movie. I think it's a good psychological thriller movie. It's not a Joker movie.
What?
The Joker.
Yeah. Right. Well, what do you think of that list? Dark Knight, Batman.
I agree with the rest of it.
Joker, the Dark Knight.
I agree with the rest
Joker,
of it.
The Batman,
I would
the Flash.
push. I think I would have Dark Knight. I don't know what I'd put second.
I love the Flash, dude.
I don't know. I'll think
4
about
out
it
of 5.
and I'll let you know later.
Yeah, we might make some more reviews. We might make some more videos talking about the Flash. I definitely want to because it's confusing as heck, and I need to understand it because it's driving me insane. But the ending. If more of that gets explained, if any more information comes out, if that's going to be our DCU Batman, we will update you guys. Follow me on Twitter at IsaacH2021 and follow us on Instagram at themoviepod. But until next time, that was our review of The Flash. It was spectacular. Go see it now because I hope it doesn't flop. Even if you don't like Ezra Miller, go watch it. It's a good movie. Just put that aside for now and watch a spectacular superhero comic book film. It was a load of fun, and I very much so enjoyed it. I'm definitely going back for a second watch, and I'll let you guys know what I think of my second watch. Maybe it does enter the 3s, but I don't think so. I think it'll stay at a 4 out of 5. Anyway, guys, my name's Isaac, joined, as always, by our co-host, Joseph. And thank you guys for listening to this lengthy review of The Flash 2023, and we'll see you guys in the next episode of The Movie Pod. Bye-bye.
Bye.